The Horse Mistress, Book 2. Written by R.A. Steffan. Narrated by Gwendolyn Druyor. Introduction. A note from the author. This book contains descriptions of graphic sex, including sex between men, sex with multiple partners, and elements of consensual BDSM. Additionally, it deals with issues of gender identity and gender fluidity. It is intended for a mature audience. Chapter 1. Hello, Goodbye. It was still dark when I woke, feeling pleasantly safe and relaxed. After an enjoyable few moments of drowsy lassitude, the events of the previous few days played across my mind's eye. We were in the village of Marin. Andoc, Senovo, and I had successfully managed to negotiate a defense treaty with Magoldus, the female leader of the Mereni tribe. In doing so, both Senovo and I had revealed long-held secrets that would drastically change our lives upon return to Draebard. However, we had also gained this. It took some time to convince myself that I truly was awake, and that the two warm bodies curled up on either side of me were not, in fact, figments of a dream. For one thing, the Andoc that lived in my dreams did not snore and drool in his sleep, and for another, the strangely pleasant ache between my legs was an inescapable reminder of what the three of us had gotten up to a scant few hours ago. The hearth fire in the rented room had burned down to glowing embers as the night passed, signifying that dawn would soon be upon us. Soon, but not quite yet. For now, I could still hoard a few more precious moments of peace before we would rise and part ways to face an uncertain future. I stretched, feeling my joints pop and crackle. Andoc slept on, oblivious to the disturbance. When I rolled onto my back to check on Senovo, however, it was to find him already awake, propped up on an elbow. His eyes were dark and deep in the warm glow of the burning coals as he looked down at the two of us pensively. "Good morning, Caravel," he said, pitching his voice low. "Good morning," I murmured. "You know, by rights, I should probably be uncomfortable about the idea of you watching me sleep." "And are you?" he asked, his tone genuinely curious. "That depends on whether you're going to keep staring at me now that I'm awake, or come here and kiss me." He smiled, but the low light made it impossible to tell if the expression reached his eyes. Nevertheless, he leaned down to press his mouth to mine, one hand coming up to cradle my jaw as our lips slid sensuously together. Desire rose, warm and insistent in my belly. The ache where I had been teased and stretched open last night sharpened for a moment, before melting into a deeper pleasure. A groan escaped my lips, only to be swallowed by the mouth and tongue dancing against my own. I caught my breath when Senovo eased away, straightening to look down at me once more. On my other side, Andoc slumbered on, mouth hanging open, one leg half off the edge of the bed. I smiled at the sight. "Does he always sleep like that?" I asked, amusement lacing my tone. Senovo reached across me to smooth the backs of his fingers over the warrior's stubbled cheek. "He is tired. The last few days have been difficult for all of us." I sobered at the reminder of our troubles. Since the Illyrian attack on Draebard, the death of so many of our fellow villagers, and the tense negotiations with the Mereni, Andoc had been our rock. Both Senovo and I were brittle with grief and worry for the future, but he had never faltered. Little wonder if events were finally catching up with him. "That being said," Senovo continued, his tone growing lighter, "a pitcher of water to the face is often one of the few effective—"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?